Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alan Stevens. I think all of us in this room know each other. But for those of you watching on live stream, today is a chance for us to recognize our graduating seniors. This is something new we're trying this year. And if you've been to the ETSU graduation ceremonies for the College of Arts and Sciences, you know it's a whole lot of people, and it can feel a little impersonal. And so today we were hoping to spend just a moment actually talking about each of the students who is leaving our ETSU music family. So students, just because of COVID and time, we're not going to be able to bring everybody up on stage today. So if you are here, please, after we read your bio and say something about you, just stand up and wave, and then we'll clap for you. And those of you who are watching live stream or watching this later, we just get to talk about you, and you can't do anything to stop us. So we're excited about that. So we're going to just go through our majors, and we're going to start with people that really help us fill out our ensembles and mean so much to us. We're going to start with the people who are not majoring in music, but are minoring in music. So this is Dr. Justin Waller.
Alan is very short. Thank you, good afternoon. It is my distinct privilege and joy to talk about Caleb Anderson, who rightfully deserves to be spoken about first because he was born with a last name that begins with A. When I first came here, and I was about 3 years ago, I was trying to scope out what to expect from the studio. And I heard from, just mumbles about reputation, and I heard that Caleb was a drum major, so he had a lot of bravado, and some people threw the arrogant word around, and they said, well, he's a drum major, he's very good looking, and so I had a preconception before our first lesson. And so when I first met him, I was, one, relieved to find out that he's not really that good looking, but I was also very pleased to learn that underneath that bravado and that drum major swagger that he is well known for is someone who is deeply caring and artistically sensitive and thoughtful and motivated and good to his very core. Now, Caleb and I haven't always agreed on everything, and we've had many a great spirited discussion in the past, but I am deeply proud of him. And when he told me that he had made the decision to change majors with his goal to eventually go to law school, I had the thought that while it was, I felt like that the world was going to potentially lose an outstanding future music educator, the world was going to gain someone that can still make a profound impact in the lives of many people. So with that, I just have to say, Caleb, I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad to have known you, and I wish you the very best, and I look forward to you possibly representing many of my current students at their various hearings. So yeah, Caleb, bravo.
Wow, all right, I get to follow that. So I'm going to take a minute and just talk a little bit about Jacob Dameron. I don't know if Jacob's here or is able to watch on the live stream. Jacob has been an absolutely awesome student. And so a lot of times we talk about students being really talented, being really smart, working really hard, and he has a lot of all of those things put together. He's not somebody who's going to go out and play for a living, but he's somebody who is going to put 100% of his effort and energy into everything he does. And so I am so excited that I got to work with him for 3 years. I'm so excited to see what he gets to do and how he's going to change the world in the chemistry, biochemistry, medical profession. He's too smart for me to even understand what he's going to do, but I'm just thrilled to see what he's going to do with his life and the people that he's going to impact, because he has made a positive impact with the percussion studio. So I'll keep it short and brief, but Jacob, I am so proud of what you've accomplished this year and last year while we've been able to work with your minor, and congratulations.
this afternoon to be able to publicly acknowledge a very valuable member of the oboe studio for 5 years, Beth Honeycutt, who I first met as a high school student at John Battle. Beth, early on, decided that she wanted a career in the medical field. She started out as a major in public health and switched to nursing after her first year at ETSU. And throughout all of that, she has been a very valuable member of our ensembles. She had successfully auditioned and moved up to the wind ensemble and chose to move back to concert band to help balance with her incredibly busy and difficult course load in the nursing program. She was kind of an enigma when she first came to the studio. She's exceedingly quiet until she really opens up. And we all had the pleasure of discovering over time that Beth has a really wicked sense of humor and is known to razz some of the other members of the studio in a good-hearted way. We will miss her tremendously. She was somebody that would sit quietly in the corner and then let out a well-timed zinger. Kind of out of nowhere, which for those of you who didn't get to know Beth too well, might surprise you. She's a tremendously intelligent person, hard worker, and it really takes a special person to keep up with oboe playing as an outlet when you have so many other things going on. So I wish her the best of luck, and I'm really happy to know that she's going to be going out there and serving our community in the nursing profession.
When I first met Stephen Overton, obviously the majority of our work was focused on trumpet playing and improving his skills on trumpet. But as I got to learn more about Stephen, I very quickly realized that he was a man with a plan. He came to ETSU from the Knoxville area, and primarily because ETSU was the only school that combined all of the significant things that he wanted in a program, including a major of digital media and game design, the opportunity to pursue a minor in music, but also a really excellent marching band. And it's been really interesting not only to work with Stephen on trumpet, but also to see his skills develop in all those areas. And by the end of his work with me, we were looking at very specific compositions that he could incorporate into some of his actual games that he was designing. And so I'm really excited to see what happens in the next stage of his career and seeing some of the games and the music that he writes for those games. So he's also been a real asset to our trumpet studio, not only playing in the trumpet ensemble, but also helping out with the concert band and playing in marching band for 4 years. So I've really had a great opportunity to work with Stephen, and I wish you the best of luck.
I was just asked earlier to give a couple words for Cameron, and I'm very, very glad to do so. Cameron played tenor sax all of his 4 years in the wind ensemble. Very, very special young man, great talented tenor saxophonist. His major is special education, and I had the pleasure to be able to help him in a survey with this honors project about, he wanted to, along with the help of Leif Cook at Dobbins Bennett, where he was a student and student taught, to then have band directors answer some questions about autistic students involved in music. And I was able to then, I wasn't able to be in person, like watch the Zoom live, but he showed me, he sent the recording of it, and I just watched it earlier this week, and it was really wonderful information that opened my eyes to a lot of things, and that autistic students are really, really successful with music. I think most of all of you know that. And so it was really glad to be able to see that his project was very, very successful. I even then also asked him, could he send the graphs? He had a lot of wonderful graphs of information from various different areas so I could then use it in my band methods course in the future. So Cameron, thank you so much. Good luck in your career. It was a pleasure teaching you.
Congratulations to all of our music minors. So one of the goals of the Department of Music for several years has been to add the Bachelor of Arts program concentrations to our Bachelor of Music concentrations. This is actually the first year they've been around, and we had one student switch over. I think he waited around just to graduate so he could do this. So this is Mrs. Karen Smith.
Okay, I get to talk about Gianni. You did it, kiddo. You finished. So Gianni is the first graduate of our Bachelor of Arts in Music Performance. And besides serving as chorale president, as the director of Swashbucklers, Gianni Lepke has been in my studio and in opera with me for the last few years. When he first came to ETSU, he was also in the reserves. He's gotten married while he was here. He has worked. Gianni has had to wear multiple hats and keep going, and so I'm really proud of that. When he first came into my studio, he suffered through many semesters of voice with me and would tell anybody that definitely the first few were the most difficult because I just really wouldn't let him get away with anything. But he kept coming back. Obviously, I think that's mostly because he liked my jokes. In opera, unfortunately, he never really got to perform the complete role, his namesake role, of Gianni Schicchi, because as you all know, we never returned last spring after spring break. But preparing an opera role especially takes hours and hours and hours of work. And when I apologized to him that he never really got to actually perform, he said, "That's okay, I really learned a lot just preparing it." And I think that is a really great attitude to have. And I know that is the kind of attitude that allows you to grow and to not let your failures define you and to succeed. And I have seen that in Gianni. And speaking of growing, Gianni is soon to be a father. But while he's not changing diapers, Gianni plans to continue working at Dobbins-Bennett High School, where he has been this year serving as the choir teacher assistant. And Gianni, I spoke with him, and I know that he is loving this time at Dobbins-Bennett High School. And I also understand that they really love him. And I know that he is representing our school well, and he plans to be there next year as well. His fun, energetic, and friendly disposition, which I'm sure anybody who's met him feels that way about him, will be missed around here for sure. By me for sure. But on a personal note, Gianni and I actually go to church together, so I'm still going to be able to not let him get away with anything. Congrats, Gianni.
We have another set of firsts this year. We added the Bachelor of Music and Jazz Studies a few years ago, and this is the first year we have 3 people graduating in the Jazz Studies major. This is Martin Walters.
Hey there, everybody. It's pretty exciting to be a part of this ceremony honoring our 2021 graduates from the Department of Music. We're really proud of each and every one of you, and y'all have been a real blessing to us. Today I'd like to recognize 3 of our outstanding graduates from the Jazz Studies program, and as Alan noted, these students have a particular honor of being the first to graduate from our new Jazz Studies concentration that began a little over 4 years ago. Apologize if my glasses fog up. First, it gives me great pleasure to recognize Sawyer Cross, who's graduating with a Bachelor of Music and Jazz Studies. Sawyer's from Johnson City, attended Science Hill High School and plays guitar. Sawyer says he chose ETSU because of the great faculty, and his favorite classes were jazz improv and jazz theory with Michael Jeffrey Stevens and Mike Wiggetta. Sawyer brought a little bit of rock and roll to the program with his bluesy style and wild hair. You really have to see him on a Zoom meeting right after he gets out of bed to appreciate it. I don't know if Sawyer was a second child, but he is certainly the rebel in our group. In addition to straight-ahead jazz with his massive guitar effects pedal board, Sawyer treated us to a variety of alternative and experimental stylings. Speak softly and play loudly was Sawyer's mantra, I believe. All that aside, Sawyer impressed me with his compositions and arranging in our commercial music production class. I also didn't realize that Sawyer's a really good singer until he rocked a commercial spot for the Bristol Motor Speedway with all the swagger of Sammy Hagar. Sawyer's been an integral part of the jazz ensemble for the last 3 years, and we'll certainly miss his contribution to the group. Sawyer would like to send a special thanks to his parents, David and Nicole, as well as Susan Lambert, who started his musical journey. After graduation, Sawyer plans to continue teaching at Blair Academy for the Arts and to explore composing and performing opportunities as often as possible. Sawyer, on behalf of the ETSU Department of Music and all the jazz faculty, we congratulate you on your graduation and wish you much happiness and success on your musical journey in the future. I guess that's Hamed over there in the corner there. All right. Next, I'm very happy to recognize Hamed Kolahi, who is graduating with his Bachelor of Music in Jazz Studies. Hamed's a guitar player from Tehran, Iran, and he says he chose ETSU because the professors in the Jazz Studies program are all successful recording artists. Hamed also told me that the mountains of East Tennessee reminded him of home. Hamed says his favorite memory is getting to perform with Dave Liebman during one of the jazz ensemble concerts. Hamed would certainly get my vote for the most improved player in the jazz program. He has worked very hard, and although the pandemic has caused quite a disruption in our students' ability to play and improvise together, Hamed has made tremendous strides into developing into a fine jazz player. Hamed has been an exceptional student and is becoming a fine composer as well. He's written several pieces for the jazz combo that combine jazz styles with rhythmic and melodic influences of traditional Iranian folk music. It's been a lot of fun getting to know Hamed and learning about his culture and background. Hamed has a wonderful sense of humor, and we've all benefited by his presence in our jazz program. Hamed got himself a motorcycle a couple of years ago and has been joining me and my neighborhood biker gang on some beautiful rides in the mountains. Since Hamed's going to be continuing his education in the Master of Music Therapy program at Appalachian State University, I'm looking forward to the opportunity for more writing in the future. Hamed, on behalf of ETSU Department of Music and all the jazz faculty, we congratulate you on your graduation and wish you the best in your pursuit to broaden your musical education. And last but certainly not least, it's my great honor to recognize Parker Lewis, who will be graduating with a Bachelor of Music degree in Jazz Studies. Parker is a trumpet player from Elizabethton, Tennessee, and chose ETSU because he wanted to explore music as an area of study. Parker says that he fell in love with the people and the program at ETSU and consequently fell back in love with music. I can tell you, during the time he has been here, I think we've all fallen in love with Parker. I have never met a student who works so hard and is so passionate about learning and growing into a fine musician as Parker. The pandemic's been hard on everyone, but especially jazz musicians and students. And I can tell you, Parker has been the glue that's held everyone together in the jazz program during this difficult time. I also know he's played a huge role in supporting and propping up numerous students in our department who might have given up otherwise. He's also recruited other students to our program and independently put student groups together for performance opportunities in our community. In addition to honing his lead trumpet and improvisational skills, Parker has developed into quite a prolific composer. I remember listening one night to the combo playing a song I didn't recognize, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this song is so beautiful. Who wrote this? Well, it was one of Parker's originals. He played it on his recital too, so you can go back and check that out. Getting to know Parker has truly been a blessing, and I know that he's going to have a fantastic future in music. Parker has been accepted into the Jazz Master's program at the University of Colorado Boulder, and Parker, on behalf of the ETSU Department of Music and Jazz faculty, we congratulate you on your graduation and wish you joy and prosperity as you continue your musical journey. And I also like to introduce, where's Dr. Long? To say a little bit more about Parker.
I'll keep this short, and we might be running just a touch over time. But Parker, I actually wrote down some notes of what I wanted to talk about, but I think in true Parker style, I'm going to improvise a little bit and play off of Martin's comments. One of the things that Martin mentioned was that you were a glue that helped hold the jazz department together in the last year. And I have to thank you so much for your support of not only the jazz program, but also the trumpet studio and the bands departments, because when I first started here, as you know, we were working on building the trumpet studio, and you played a really significant role in helping get people here, as well as playing in the trumpet ensemble so we could cover parts. And that is extremely gracious of you, and we've really appreciated having you do that. And in addition to that, you were not only a leader musically, but you were also a leader professionally and personally among your students and your colleagues in the music department. So over the course of 3 years, I've seen you and gotten to know you so well that as I mentioned to you in your lesson, I know that you're going to be successful in the music industry because you're a fine person and you've become a fine musician. So on behalf of all of us, thank you very much for the opportunity to work with you. Next up are our performance majors. We're going to start with Mrs. Karen Smith again.
Okay, I'm here to congratulate Caitlin Brown, also known as Kat. I'm definitely going to miss Kat's presence in opera. She has a really positive attitude, and she's teachable, which is a really great thing as a teacher. You feel very encouraged when you have a student that you can always give direction to, and they take it with a smile and they go back and make changes. So that is a really great thing about Kat, and it's going to serve her well for her future. A highlight of Kat's performing experience for me in opera would be the performance that we did with the Johnson City Symphony last February before the world shut down. She actually got to sing the really famous aria O mio babbino caro over the full orchestra, and it was really just beautiful. And I feel like even in Seeger Chapel, her voice really soared. And that, for me, that's a great experience to get to see a student have that kind of experience, even as an undergrad. So for me, that's a highlight with her. Her applied teacher is actually Miss Rachel Helton, and she has sent me some few words to read about Kat. Caitlin has one of those voices that makes people love opera, rich and luxuriously colorful. She has been one of my hardest working students, approaching challenging repertoire with determination and grit. And she says, Kat, remember to not be so hard on yourself. What you create with your voice is like a fingerprint of who you are in that moment, beautifully unique. I'm honored to have shared in your past 4 years at ETSU. Congratulations. So from both of us, Kat, congrats. Rachel Gardner. Rachel came with a really beautiful instrument, and has taken that instrument and matured into a great artist. And I have watched her grow in opera and deliver really engaging performances. And she has always done it with humility and a very teachable spirit. Again, Rachel is actually one of those students that I could make a lot of soprano jokes to, and it wouldn't offend her at all. She would just laugh alongside of it, and I love that about her. I know that even in chorale, she has been a really steady presence and has always given 110%. If you didn't actually get to watch the live stream opera performance that we gave in this room a week ago today, at least go towards the end and see what she did. Her performance of an aria from the opera Little Women is just exquisite. And I think most telling of everything that she has been able to put together, not only in her growth personally, maturing as quite a confident and poised young woman, as an artist, and as a vocalist, the way she was able to put together the beauty of her voice with the character. It was just really, for me, so fulfilling to see as a teacher and to get to share with everyone. I think that Rachel actually plans to take this year to prepare for grad school auditions, and I think that's a wonderful idea. And I know that she's going to go out there and represent our school beautifully. Again, her applied instructor is Miss Rachel Helton, and she has sent me some words to read as well. Rachel came into my studio as a sophomore, timid and unsure of how to present herself and her voice. She will be leaving my studio as a strong, confident young singer who can knock the socks off of any audience with vocal fireworks and compelling stage presence. She has learned how to handle herself on stage, take constructive feedback with grace, and back it up with hard work. Rachel, it has been an honor to guide you along your journey at ETSU. Congratulations on your accomplishments. I look forward to your blossoming singing career. Congrats, Rachel.
I'm here to congratulate my student Diego Nunez. Diego will graduate with Bachelor of Music degree in violin performance. He came to ETSU in 2017 from Maldonado in Uruguay, following his friend Rodrigo Hernandez, who graduated in the spring of 2020. Diego left his home country and ventured into the unknown of studying abroad. From the very beginning, I knew that Diego was an extremely dedicated and committed student. Diego worked hard in his classes and even harder on his violin playing. In the past 4 years, Diego performed with many student chamber groups, played in countless piano and violin collaborations, and served as a principal player and concertmaster for the ETSU Chamber Orchestra and Sinfonia. He also performed with the Johnson City Symphony and Symphony of the Mountains. Diego has probably been on every single program that involves Strix in the last 4 years, and also helped us tango better. Coming from Uruguay. Diego is always willing to go above and beyond of what's expected and never said no to playing with any ensemble. His work ethic and positive and friendly attitude were great examples to other students. All the music students that worked closely with Diego noticed that Diego was always happy. When they finally asked him, "How come you're always happy, Diego?" he said, "Because life is beautiful." We are excited to congratulate Diego on being accepted to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville for receiving the graduate string quartet assistantship. Diego, we're very proud of you, and truly honored that you have been part of the ETSU music family for the past 4 years. We have no doubt you will flourish and have positive impact wherever life takes you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for sharing your talent and joy with us.
On behalf of the piano area, we are graduating 3 of our students. They are very different in their own rights, but there's one common ground in the sense that they were all transfer students. Austin came from Pellissippi after he graduated from that community college. Taylor comes from Middle Tennessee State, and Mochi from Ithaca. And I tell everyone that you may have chosen ETSU as your adopted family. You can't get out of it on your own accord. Once you're ETSU family, you're always ETSU family, and we are extremely proud of you and happy for your endeavors here and for your future career. But to talk individually about our students, Austin, whose picture is missing here, is currently hosing a garden, he says. I was wondering if he was watching from Knoxville. And that's what I really love about him, is the fact that he's so down to earth. I can't count number of lessons where instead of discussing future plans, we talked about politics, philosophy, why we do what we do. And in fact, I feel like he's taught me more than what I've taught him. He comes from, as I said, Posapi. 3 years ago, one day, he emailed me randomly, introduced himself as a pianist who wanted to learn more. That's how our relationship started. He then began driving from Knoxville every week to get my lessons, at which point I said, why don't you just join the family already? And that was 2.5 years ago. He had a lot of beautiful musical ideas, but technically, he had a lot of work to do. And I can't believe that even three years ago, even though I accepted him because of his willingness to learn and his desire for love of music, but I honestly didn't think he would arrive where he is. For example, he was able to complete 2 full recitals in a single year. That's a big feat, which he did it graciously. I know he suffered a lot, but I was extremely proud of Austin. He applied to 4 or 5 different universities, and he was accepted to all of them. And he got the last say in it, which was that he proudly is joining Catholic University of America on full scholarship and stipend. And I believe he's already there in DC, if you ask him today. So we are rooting for you, Austin. We're so proud of you. And always remember that ETSU is behind your back. Congratulations. Next up is Taylor. Taylor came to us from Nashville, and when she came to us, she was Faith. I am so proud of her for finding herself, and I am thankful that ETSU Music Family was there in every step of the way. From piano area, we're really saddened that our class mom is leaving. And I believe she's extended that kind gesture of help to anyone she's got to know in the music department. She's loved by everybody, and I hope that she continues that generous and kind heart as she embarks in a new journey. She's also battled her own fears in terms of personally, but also musically. And she's a very different person from 2 years ago when I met her. And that culminated in a beautiful senior recital a couple weeks ago. And I am just excited about what the future lies in front of her. The choice is yours, Taylor, and you just need to take it. So future plan-wise, we had a nice lunch yesterday in lieu of lessons. I always welcome lunches over lessons, and it was really nice. She told me that she is going to teach in Nashville area, and also she has a plan of preparing for grad school auditions. So we are so proud of you. I am bursting with joy and pride. Congratulations, Taylor.
Okay, and we have the third pianist that is graduating, and I know a lot of you are very emotional, and I'm as emotional as you are, because a lot of you, we came in together at ETSU 4 years ago. Some of you are 5 years ago, and I saw you in each theory classes and various different classes. And I feel like I'm graduating with you all. And I do really feel honored to have this special moment with all of you. My student, Mochi, this is the first student I feel that I'm actually teaching a doctoral student in a way, because I think we not only talking about music, we also talk about life and talk about philosophies and many other things. He transferred from Ithaca College in upstate New York 2.5 years ago, a great liberal school. And I learned so much, and he also worked very hard. We talk about our senior recital program. We actually said, how about Chopin Sonata No. 3? That's really one of the biggest literature in piano world. And I said, sure, especially he came into the States with the pieces such as, Chopin Impromptus Fantasy, the Chopin Fantasy Impromptus, and one of the tinier Beethoven Sonata. And now he's actually playing a senior recital with one of the biggest repertoire. And he managed to got into one of the best conservatory in the States. So he got into Mannes School of Music in New York and Boston Conservatories in Boston. And he has accepted the offer to join Mannes School of Music. We will have a lot of ups and downs in our lives, but that shouldn't stop us from making great things. And Mochi, you have a tender heart and care about people around you. And I'm honored to be your teachers and also for everyone graduating this year. Thank you.
Our last set of graduates are the music education graduates, who we hope will be sending more people back to us to join the ETSU music family in the future. First, we have Isaiah Bishop, who's vocal music education. And Isaiah is just, he's one of the most even-keeled people. I can never tell if he's happy or sad. He's always the same. And he has been in a little bit of everything here, from grayscale to chorale to Bucksworth. And so Isaiah, I still remember Isaiah's audition, because we asked all of our auditioning students to sight read, and he got it perfectly correct. And I thought, that's outstanding. And so we said, Isaiah, how did you do this? And, well, I have perfect pitch. And I said, that's great, but it still doesn't explain how a vocalist got the rhythm right. But he really is extremely gifted, and I will miss him. He has the slightly inappropriate but aptly named nickname that we gave him in grayscale, Lord Pee-Pee, for being perfect pitch. And so our Lord has given us the pitch without having to ever use a pitch pipe for the past 4 years, and we're really going to miss that as well. Isaiah's teacher is Rachel Helton, and she sends these words about Isaiah. Isaiah is a naturally gifted musician who excels in many areas, maybe too many. I always told him he was doing too much. This past year, Isaiah has grown into a polished singer. He has been able to increase his versatility vocally and gain confidence in his performance style. His senior recital was the culmination of careful study of song and its interpretation. Isaiah, it has been an honor to watch you find confidence in your singing, stage presence, and artistry. Congratulations from Ms. Helton. Isaiah, on behalf of all of us, congratulations.
It is my pleasure and honor to congratulate Ivy Blazer on the completion of the Bachelor of Music degree in music education. Ivy is a clarinetist that I have known since I started my time at ETSU in the fall of 2018. When I first heard Ivy in my job interview for ETSU, I remember being impressed with Ivy's intentional use of air and her courageous approach to performance. Ivy is a person that consistently pushes herself toward a standard of excellence, which is evident in her continued musical growth and strong sense of perseverance. She is someone that has never made an excuse, even if she has had them to make. In addition to her musicianship, I have known Ivy as a hardworking and dependable person. She has represented our studio at national conferences, including the International Clarinet Association's Clarinet Fest in 2019, and additionally has traveled with the Saxophone Studio to perform at the North American Saxophone Alliance National Conference in 2020. Ivy, I'm so proud of you. I have enjoyed my time working with you very much in these past 3 years at ETSU. I look forward to knowing you for years to come, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Congratulations on your graduation.
Up next is Jacob Bullock. Jacob is, what can you say about Jacob? What I love about working with Jacob is that he is unabashedly himself. And we need more people like this in our schools who show students that it's okay to be who you are no matter what. And I love watching him work with students because they're so engaged, and he just lights up the room, and you can tell when he walks in that the students are ready to sing for him. And Jacob, if you're watching this later, I just talked to Dr. Blackman before this started, and she said she went to observe you today teaching, and she's like, it was watching a mini version of you, Dr. Stevens. I'm so sorry, Jacob. But seriously, it's been such a pleasure to work with you. I know you're going to be a great teacher, and I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Smith for a few final words.
Okay, besides being in opera for a few semesters, Jacob actually came to me a few years ago in my studio after having studied with literally every other voice teacher that we had on faculty at that point, not by any fault of his own. And he has been consistently one of the hardest working students in my studio, and he has kind of a freakishly incredible range. He can sound like a bass and a tenor, and sometimes a soprano if he wants. I know that's going to serve him well in the classroom. The improvement that he has made as a singer is really due to his work ethic and his desire to go as far as he could. And if I could have assigned Most Improved Student last year and given an award in my studio, it hands down would have gone to Jacob. He did not let the COVID quarantine time go to waste at all. Instead, he chose that time to dig in and improve his singing and his overall musicianship skills as much as he could. And I think that that is such a marker of an intelligent and emotionally intelligent adult and professional. Jacob gave a beautiful senior recital and has applied that work ethic even in his teaching job right now, in his student teaching. And I know that he's actually already landed an interim gig right out of the gate starting next week. He is such a fun and unassuming person, and he's always appreciative of other people's investment into his life. And that is such a gift as a teacher. So thank you, Jacob, for that gift, and congrats to you.
So I get to talk about Josh Cassidy. I'm thrilled just because Josh is a huge success story. Not for me, not because of anything I did, but because of the work that he put in and the changes that he made in his life while he was here as a student to really be the best version of himself. When I first got here, Josh was just a fun person to be around. He really cared about drums. He really wanted to be, the marching guy. He was really passionate about that. And other things, maybe not so much. And he really turned that around immediately. There was the first recital we gave, I kind of gave him this ultimatum. Hey, you're going to play this piece. And if it doesn't go well, that's all right. We'll learn from it, we'll grow from it, and we'll have a good experience learning about it. And that's exactly what Josh did. He made it through that piece, and it wasn't an absolute disaster, but it wasn't the greatest work of art either. It was a stepping stone for him and an opportunity for him to learn, hey, it's okay to not be great at something at first, because you're going to grow and get into something much better and do much better things in your life. And Josh really, from that moment, that was the first semester that I was here, from that moment until the time that he graduated and is off student teaching, has been doing nothing but amazing things. And so I'm so proud to have been able to see that throughout his 3 years with me here. And I'm so hopeful that even though he's probably really busy student teaching right now, he gets a chance to watch this and know that from a very sincere perspective, he has done amazing, amazing things for his own career choices and his own path, but as well as creating a solid reputation here for our studio to not be just drummers, but to be bigger and better than that. And so he's not the only one to do that, but he certainly is one of those that has definitely helped me feel like this studio is heading in a great direction because of Josh. So thank you, Josh, and congratulations. I know you're going to do great things.
Gives me pleasure to talk a little bit about Jensen Gonzalez. Jensen spent 3 years of her undergraduate at James Madison University before she transferred here. And to finish 3 years and only basically have another year and a half or so to complete, obviously the experiences that she was enduring and there were not what she wanted. And so we were given the great advantage that she transferred here, and she's worked so hard. She only was able to have 3 concerts with the wind ensemble because obviously last March we all went home. And I remember last semester her through a Zoom talking about that she was sacrificed a concert with wind ensemble. She played both alto saxophone and tenor sax to a point. Cameron, the other one I talked about earlier, he had a class on certain days that he missed half of rehearsal, so she would fill in. And so she, as a transfer student, I think there's a lot of hardships of trying to fill the holes of what they need to do, when and where, and so I've tried to help her with that. I know Dr. Blackman and others have helped her with that too, and she has really risen to the challenge. She's finishing up her student teaching at Tennessee High with David Simonis. I know she has had a great experience with Colleen Simonis at the elementary school and now with David at the high school, and I know she will be a very, very great teacher in the future. So Jensen, congratulations and best of luck in the future.
I'm back. Okay. So I, again, get another awesome opportunity to talk about Skylar Hobgood, who's here, and I'm excited because I get to talk straight to her. Skylar, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so lucky. I really am, and this entire department is so lucky that you've been able to be here and that you switched from digital media. And so you originally started out as digital media and realized that music was exactly where you should be. And so we are the lucky ones because of that choice. So thank you. And so for those 3 years that we've been together, you have been an amazing leader. You work really hard in lessons, and you always come prepared with new material and new ideas to try out. Not afraid to try something new. You're not afraid to make mistakes. And I absolutely love that about you. And so as much as it's a bummer that you're leaving, I'm thrilled that you get to go on and you're going to study musicology. And I can't wait to see how you make a difference in the world for the better, to increase some diversity and awareness of music out there that everybody needs to know about. And you're going to uncover that, you're going to do that, and I'm excited for it. So I'm just thrilled. Congratulations, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
What can you say about DJ McReynolds? Those of you in this room have lots to say. We love DJ, not the least for some of his offhanded comments that he makes about absolutely everything, which we love, but you can't do that when you teach DJ. DJ started out as an instrumental music education major and switched over to vocal music education, and we all thought, man, this is going to be a lot. You're going to have to just make up a ton of classes. You've got to go back and start all of those beginning vocal classes like diction and piano. And DJ just locked into it, and he did it, and he really wanted to do vocal music. And it's worth mentioning that his mom is also a vocal music educator, and I think he saw that and really decided that that was the path for him. DJ, this is from Mrs. Helton. When DJ decided to change his concentration to vocal music, I think we were all a little bit confused. What we didn't realize at the time was what a naturally beautiful voice he has. In half the time other students have to prepare, DJ was able to perform his senior voice recital. I believe he surprised us all with the voice that came out in that performance. DJ, congratulations on your achievement. It was an honor to help you find your authentic voice. Congrats, DJ. Olivia Phillips is one of the most academically gifted students I think I've ever had. And Olivia is not going to teach right away. She actually got accepted on a full ride scholarship in ethnomusicology to one of the best ethno programs in the country, to Indiana University. And we are so proud of her for taking that path. Olivia, these are the words from Mrs. Helton, teaches a lot of these people. So Mrs. Helton says this: I'm proud to say Olivia will be attending my alma mater, Go IU. I'm thrilled for Olivia not only as a student, but as a friend. Olivia deeply cares about others and has been a supportive friend to many in this department. Her natural talent for folk and Celtic singing is something I will not soon forget. The way her voice sparkles through flourishes is stunningly beautiful. Olivia, thank you for your authenticity. I'm looking forward to what is next for you as a Hoosier. Congrats, Olivia. Last but not least, we have Thomas Richardson. Thomas is actually in another list of our firsts this year. Our new curriculum change started where you have a 4-year Bachelor of Music and Education, and then in your 5th year, you go into the Master of Arts in Teaching. So you come out with your certification with a master's program. Most of these students are freshmen and some of our sophomores that switched over, but Thomas heard about this and he was ready to do it. So even though he'd taken some of the classes for the education minor, he decided to switch and go right into the MAT and start over with those education classes. And I'm really excited for what he is going to do with this degree and having that master's when he comes out. So he will be our first student in that track. Thomas is just an absolute go-getter. I mean, if he puts his mind to something, you better believe it's going to happen. He started Ascension, our mixed student-led a cappella group, and in their very first year, they did an outstanding job at the ICCA competition. Just everybody was blown away. So I am really confident, Thomas, that you're going to be an outstanding teacher, that you're going to lead your students with passion and drive. So congratulations, Thomas, and good luck in the MAT. Up next, we have our inductees into the Pi Kappa Lambda Honor Society.
As president of the Theta Alpha chapter of Pi Kappa Lambda here at ETSU, it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce the new inductees in the class of 2020-2021. I'm required as part of the ritual for a short little introduction before we announce the candidates. The members of the Theta Alpha chapter of Pi Kappa Lambda are assembled here today to initiate new members of the society as elected by the faculty committee of the chapter. Pi Kappa Lambda is an honor society, the only music organization recognized by the Association of College Honor Societies. It was dedicated by its founders to the fostering of scholarly interest in the theoretical and historical aspects of music, and to the pursuit of eminent achievement in performance, composition, music education, and research. The society was founded at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois in 1918. The first member was Peter Christian Lutkin, then Dean of the School of Music, whose initials and their Greek equivalent were selected for the name of the society, Pi Kappa Lambda. Those persons who today become members of Pi Kappa Lambda have demonstrated both musical and academic excellence. They also possess qualities which have enabled them to achieve distinguished careers at ETSU, which are personal integrity, leadership, open-mindedness, and intellectual stamina. The emblem of the society is a visible expression of the honor and esteem with each member is regarded. It is designed in the form of a Grecian lyre incorporating the ancient symbols of music and drama with the Greek letters of the society. Dr. Blackman and I are wearing the symbol today. It is particularly appropriate to remind the new members that the primary purpose of Pi Kappa Lambda is to recognize the highest levels of musical achievement and academic scholarship. Through this chapter in the national organization, we encourage you to maintain your professional standards and to use every opportunity to advance music as a vital part of our lives and cultural heritage. Will the initiates please come forward as I read your names? First is Ms. Taylor Van Rickingham. I think I mispronounced that still. Taylor, sorry. Ms. Alina Weatherly. Dr. Logan Ball. Dr. Matthew Geiger. Dr. Sean Hawthorne. Dr. Brett Long. And Dr. Justin Waller. The ceremony is now concluded, and I invite all of you to join me and Dr. Blackman in welcoming the newest members of Pi Kappa Lambda National Music Honor Society.
If you were counting, we had 19 music majors. That's almost 20% of our entire department is graduating this year. We had 5 music minors, and each year we pick an outstanding student, and there was more discussion this year than ever before, just from the sheer quality of students that we had graduating. So here to present the Outstanding Student Award is the department chair, Dr. Matthew Potterson.
As Dr. Stevens mentioned, this was a challenging year in choosing a student to receive this award. We had a long list of very qualified students. The criteria for receiving this award is a GPA above 3.5 and also positively contributing to our department. The voting was so close, however, that we actually ended up choosing 2 outstanding graduates this year. After much deliberation, the Department of Music faculty have chosen Parker Lewis and Taylor Van Rickingham as this year's Outstanding Students of the Year. Come on up and get your award here. I want to congratulate all of you for reaching this huge milestone in your life. I know that the journey was not always easy, and perhaps at times you were not sure if you were going to make it, but you did. You put in the hard work to get to this point, and we are extremely proud of all of you. Even with the pandemic looming over us over the last year, we were able to make music together. It was not necessarily ideal, but compared to many other universities around the country, we found a way to rehearse safely in person and still make music. I'm thankful to the ETSU COVID team and upper administration who worked with us to make this possible. We strive in our department to create an environment of encouragement, of caring, and inclusion of all people. We try to create an environment of students supporting each other during hard and good times. Many of you have described our department as a family. So much so that we created the hashtag that you see on if you've seen on the slides, ETSU Music Family. As you reflect on your time here at ETSU, search this hashtag on social media, and I hope that the pictures you see will make you laugh and perhaps cry as you remember the last several years of your life here at ETSU. You will not forget these years. Many of the friends that you made will be friends for the rest of your life. Many of your professors will want to know where you go next. So please, please check in from time to time and let us know how your journey is going. We'd love to hear from you. You will always be a part of this family, and when you return to attend concerts and other events on campus, I hope that you take pride in knowing that you are part of making the department what it is today. Please share your experience with the underclassmen. Encourage them to continue to raise the bar so that our department continues to grow in both numbers and quality. As you go out into the real world, Tell others about the ETSU Department of Music family. And always remember that this will forever be your family, and we are here to cheer you on to the next chapter of your life. Congratulations again, and go Bucks!